How to Succeed is a really fun anachronism, if you will. So back in the 1950s, an author named Shepard Mead wrote this kind of tongue-in-cheek survival guide on how to make it through the business world. And amateur playwrights got together and said, we could make a thing out of this. And they wrote this fun musical that's really of the time, telling us the story of a young kid named J. Pierpont Finch and how he rises from being a window washer to chairman of this company that sells wickets.
He's kind of a sleazy con man, I'd say. He's got to go through a bunch of ladders like an annoying boss, almost an affair in the workplace, and then ends up with a loving wife.
I play Rosemary, and I would say Rosemary is very ambitious. While Mr. Finch is trying to climb the ladder in the company, Rosemary is trying to get him to fall in love with her. So I guess like they both have their two separate ways of like climbing the ladder. But eventually it just turns into the same thing because he realizes that he's in love with me.
I really enjoy this whole production team because the communication is there, and because without it, you might have a show where everything looks like it was done separately by one person who's working on the set that doesn't match the costumes, that doesn't match the dancing and music.
I'd love to just thank Mr. Kyle for all the work he's put in directing us. I've only done a handful of shows with him back in my middle school years, but coming back in high school and really playing this character, him guiding me, it's been wonderful. It's driven my ambition, and it's really showed me what I want to do.
All of our Ocean Arts production crew are members that I've been working with for years. Our producer and costumer, Kathy Bertos, is stellar. Pit director, Mike Cordero, just retired from the William Floyd School District as a music teacher this past year, but he's come back to conduct again at William Floyd. We're so excited to have him back. He is a master of his craft.
I think the biggest challenge with this show is the 2 years that we spent not really in school because of COVID. I think the fact that they were out of school for such an amount of time, I think they're suffering from the lack to be in a classroom situation.
At the beginning of the show, we did have a lot of times where I would be having a rehearsal and it might be missing half of our cast because we might have to be quarantined, which made rehearsing very difficult, and it put a lot more of the responsibility on the students.
Now, this is a cast of 44 students. A lot of them haven't performed in 2 years. So it's been difficult to get them back on stage and be back in the mode of, all right, I'm going to be performing. I have to rehearse every day. So they've really done a great job of kind of pulling themselves up by their bootstraps and getting into that space where we're going to do a show and it's going to be awesome, and it is. The kids are getting excited for an audience to come in. The show is Friday, March 25th at 7 p.m. and Saturday, March 26th at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. Come out and see this wild, wonderful show about the 1950s workplace and all of the humor that can be found within. You are gonna love it.
You should come see it.
For real.